Hey folks, new project today. Here's what we're working on. Everybody remembers the little old Alice C. Yeah, she got a, hang on, let me get my glass over. I can see what the camera's seeing, but it's got a, hopefully it'll pick it up. There's a hydraulic leak right here on this PTO seal. And we're going to change it. And I figured I'd make a video in case anybody else wants to know how to change the seal. When they're open, you know, there's nothing around this. These are pretty easy. There's an outside lip to that seal. If I can scrape the paint off, you can see it. It's right there. Pretty simple to see and get to. What you'll do, you always destroy them getting them out, so don't even worry about that. You're putting a new one on. But you're going to take a screwdriver, drive it down there, and pop it out. And when you go to the part store, usually somewhere on these, this one's greasy and nasty. It's been leaking for a little bit, and it's getting worse. But usually there's a number, and they can cross-reference the seal when you go up there, and you don't even have to tell them what it's off of. So, like I said, I'm going to fix this, and then here in a day or two, we're going to put a overrun clutch on this. This is 1 1/8, not a 3/8 standard PTO. And we're going to put one over this to a regular PTO where we can run the brush hogs or whatever we want to run with it. So I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Bear with me. I will try. But I ain't making no promises. I might have put the camera down. Yep, I'm gonna have to put the camera down. So, hey, look like you might be able to see me there. Yeah, if it don't fall off, like I said, just get your screwdriver right there, or anywhere you can bang on it. Alright, camera's falling. But, hope that light ain't blinding. But, see where I got the screwdriver drove in it? We're going to pop it out. And if it don't go there, you can just walk it on around a little bit more. And it's going to be a stubborn one. Sometimes they are. Alright. Well, I'll set it down. And if you fall off, I'll just edit it out, I guess. But I'll show you this when we get it. It's usually not too awful bad on them. Walk them around. Oh, yeah. And I know someone's going to scream at me for using a screwdriver, but I've only got 10,000 of it, so you know what? I don't care. So, like I said, just walk your screwdriver around. Just pop that dude right on out of there. Yeah, that's what I figured. Alright, folks. I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'll walk this around stuff, and I'll turn it back on when I get the seal out. Hey, folks. It's going to turn into a bigger project than I thought. Found out why the seal was bad. I've got a bad bearing. I popped the race out. It come on out. And now we're down to this with the bearing and the PTO shaft. And unfortunately, in order to fix this, I'll probably have to take all the bolts and drop this whole housing back, because you can't get, I'm going to try it a little bit, but I don't see it working. But usually on these, you'll have to take this off and actually beat this bearing off of the shaft this way. But it was sitting there wobbling, and it wallered the inside of the seal out. Like I said, that come out, but I noticed how loose and sloppy that was, so I took the 4 bolts out that was on here and pulled this cover off. And yeah, see that play and that bearing, how sloppy that is? That's not good. And if I put a new seal in, it's just going to sit there and, you know, waller around and eat the center out of the new one. So we're going to have to, I'm afraid, pull this whole thing. I'm going to try to get a few tools dug out and see if I can't accidentally get that off, because the race come out, which I didn't think would. But it did, surprisingly. So I may go dig some tools out of my toolbox, and we'll see if we can do this. If not, this is going to be a major deal. So, turn the camera back on in a bit. Okay, folks. I don't know if I'm gaining or not. I went to try to get that bearing, it just fell to pieces. Luckily, everything fell out of it and on the ground. I thought I could pull the piston pump, the hydraulic pump off the side of this and just pull the whole shaft out. I did the Ford of mine that way, and it's set up that way, and you can just pop the whole shaft back in, new bearing on it and all that. Not this one. It won't release. So, I'm still going to have to take that off. I was hoping to get lucky. But in case anybody wants to know what the Allis Chalmers hydraulic pumps look like, they're just a piston pump. There's two little rods right here. You can see them right there. And there's your rollers. Kind of a roller rocker setup type deal. And the cam off PTO, let's see if I can do this in one hand, it rides right on these rollers and hits them. And what it does, you got two of them, they just back and forth, sucking and pushing. And there's your pickup. And that's your hydraulics on these. Then you tie in here, but they're a low volume, high pressure system. I was really hoping to get lucky. That didn't happen. So, yeah, my little simple seal job turned into a major one, but that's what was knocking the seal out, so yeah. So here we are. And I guess I'll turn the camera back on the next step when I figure it out. So this is new to me. The seal wasn't a big deal, but fixing all this other stuff is, so. But I'll turn the camera back on when I get to the next step. Okay, folks, that was fun. I got the whole back end of this thing off. 8 bolts. It slid out. All this stuff's open again, so. And here's the back end. Hopefully sun ain't blinding the camera. All that for that. Now I gotta figure out how to get this out, because it still don't move out. But, one thing about it, I can probably drive a punch or something through this side and get it out. So, figured I'd get to show you that point. I've got that far. What a mess. So, I will turn the camera on when I get to the next step. Ah, folks, we're back. I might be a little out of breath. I finally got them out. That was a nightmare. I had to turn it and beat it with a punch from the inside and just walk it around and keep going on an angle. I'll show you, hang on. Like this. Because the way these are made, there's a snap ring back here. And if you see this piece across, there's no way to just do something, and you can't just pull it out because of the pinion gear here, you know. So, kind of a mess. And if anybody knows a better way, please let me know. It's Allis Chalmers C. How do you get that out? But look at that. I mean, it's all made cast one piece, you know. You can't just, like, take some bolts out here, take this housing that holds the bearings and take it out and then pull the whole thing out. It's a nightmare. But I did win. So, yes, I'll go get some bearings and a race and a seal. So much for simple. I'll go get all that and we'll get this thing back together. So, after I get back to town and back, I'll turn the camera on and we'll start putting it together. Hey folks, we're back. I got everything off as we seen before, but laid my back half over here. So what we're going to do, I ordered the parts, but they're not going to be here for a couple days, maybe 3, because I didn't have them in stock, but they can get them. So I want this going now because I want it out of my shop. So let's take a stroll and I'll show you what we're going to do, Rob. So we'll take a quick little run out here in the salvage and I'll show you what we're going to do. I've got a parts tractor over here and I done went and checked it. Everything's good and tight on it. And if you remember the wide front end swap, I done took the front end off this thing and the steering box and the sector. So bear with me, I'm moving here. But this tractor right here, been robbing and robbing and robbing. But right here, we're just gonna take this one off for now, because it is, I've come out here and checked it, it is tight. So, and it spins, sounds good, and I mean everything's good and tight in it. So I'm gonna get this off, clean this up, and get it on. And that will get me going for now, because I don't want to leave it in front of my shop 2 or 3 days open. You know, it'll get water in it and everything else. So I'll get this off, get it over there, and get it on. And I'll rebuild that other rear end at a later date when the parts come in. So, but this will get me going for now. So I'll turn the camera back on in a bit. Alright folks, we're back. I got it off, and I'm kind of glad I did. This thing has got a lot less wear than mine. The little square cog on the other one, this kicks your PTO in and out, rides in a little cradle, moves that deal on that shaft, but it is not wore at all. All the bearings on this thing, I mean, wiggling the PTO, everything is just super tight on this thing. So this and the teeth on this gear right here are not wore at all. I mean, just none. So, and mine are getting pretty chewed up on that other one. So I've ordered the parts, but you know, I may or may not rebuild that other one. I mean, this one is in such good shape, which I was going to leave it on anyway and rebuild the other one for a spare, but you know, I've still got a few more parts rigs out there, and you know what, I might not even mess with it and just keep the bearings, and I might, but I mean, this one is way better shape. It did have just a little bit of water. That's what that milky yellowy stuff is. Not much, but you know, it's set for years and the shifter boots rotted off, so tranny still shifted smooth. I checked it while I was over there, so. But I guess I'm going to get this put on this. I'll get it all cleaned up and everything, scrape the gaskets off and get it all ready. And we got to come back here and get this all done. Get back here, and this gasket's pretty well peeling off. I might get lucky and get it off, but oh, looky there, I did. But it's busted anyway. I'll just clean her up, dry it up, put some good old silicone on it, and that'll be plenty good for that. So simple. Yeah, right. So, but anyways, I will get this together, and when I get it done, I'll turn the camera back on and show you. I'll kick the PTO in and out and show you a completed product here. So I'll see you in a bit. Hey folks, we're back. Ta-da. Got it on. Don't look too bad on there. I might paint it later, but it is on. It is working. We got the, I know someone's going to screech, but I put silicone over this, put it on. Same thing on the back of the housing, because it's around the hydraulics. I'm going to probably freak out, but trust me, I've done it before, and on this older stuff, it's not as critical. I've got new seals coming, so I will put one in this. And for future reference, you can knock them out like I was doing to start with for the screwdriver. But I guess it was a good thing I went ahead and noticed the shaft and took it off. So for future reference, if you're doing it, go ahead and take it off and check it. You know, at least it did it here instead of when I was using it, broke down in the field or something, pulling a rake or something. So when you do it, just take these 4 bolts off and just pop this little round piece. Excuse me, camera went off. But just take this little piece out, and you can drive the seal out from the back. It's easier than the screwdriver. But I was hoping it would be a simple job. Simple. Ha! None of my jobs are ever simple. But anyway, we got this on. Now, for the Coupe de Gracie here. See what happened. And I'm sure it'll work. Make sure we're in neutral so don't get run over. Whoa, oh. There she goes. Alright. Hold on. We'll get the clutch down. Woohoo! It works! It works! Works pretty well. That flat belt pulley is better than the one that was on that, because that one over there had a big dent on one side, so that's probably a little better. And so far it ain't leaking fluid, surprisingly. The old part's pretty greasy right there around it. I figured it'd be running out everywhere, but I filled it up with fluid and all that on transmission, so. But it's good. So, but we got it on, we got it whooped, it's working like it's supposed to. I'm happy. So, hold on. For the sake of video, we'll just kill it that way. And I've got to take and put my wires all back and whatnot, but that ain't a big deal. So, hopefully, I won't have no more issues with that for a while. Like I said, the seals are coming. I ordered an extra one for this too. And I will rebuild this one at a later date. Like I said, I'll just put a new bearing and stuff in it and have it on standby. It ain't like I don't have several more of those things, so. But I'm happy, got my little tractor back in action, so I'll clean up my mess now that I'm done making one. And when the parts come in a day or two, I'll put that back together sometime. I'll put that on the back burner. I got enough projects, and put everything up in a pile somewhere and get to it later. So there it is, folks, and hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the end of the video, but luckily I had a parts tracker and I just went and took the whole thing off and bolted it on right there. It was 8 bolts. Wasn't no big deal. Put a little silicone on it, made a gasket, and just put it on. Means it was going to be, 2 or 3 days before I even got the parts, because this was right in front of my shop. I had to get it out of here, so at least this way I can drive it and use it and go on about my business. And I can rebuild that at another time and have it ready for another tractor. So, the little C is back on duty line. So, we're good, I guess. And I guess that'll wrap it up for this video. So, as always, like and subscribe. And I hope your projects are simpler than mine usually turn out to be. So, as always, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.